Many of us are on a mission to find our soulmates, but how do you determine if you found the right person? From letting each other in on secrets to being a personal cheerleader, here are 16 signs that your relationship will last. Number 16. Listen to each other. Have you ever been in a relationship in which you're doing an awful lot of talking, but your partner isn't listening to any of it? One of the worst feelings in the world is explaining your thoughts and emotions, or maybe even having a normal conversation and seeing that your significant other doesn't care enough to listen. Truly listen.
They can nod their heads all they want, but if they aren't paying attention, it's going to be obvious.
They'll appear distracted and won't remember much of the conversation. However, if you found someone who not only listens to what you say but takes time to analyze it and attempt to understand, it's a big sign that your relationship will last. It's crucial for both parties to be heard, and being ignored is sure to cause heartbreak on both sides. Number 15. Don't expect change. A lot of us have experienced relationships where we disagree with certain things the other person does. In fact, this applies in nearly every union out there. Being opposed to characteristics your partner possesses doesn't necessarily mean that the relationship is doomed. However, expecting instantaneous changes will cause tension between the two of you and will most likely result in a breakup. There are always aspects people can improve on regarding their actions, emotions, and ways of thinking, and couples should support each other in making positive developments. But the traits that could use an adjustment shouldn't deter the other person if changes are never made. Your partner should love and want you for who you are already, not who you aspire to be or who they see you becoming. Number 14. Communication. Are you sad? Are you upset with something your partner did? Are you experiencing trouble at work? Are you happy? Anything you are feeling or going through is something you should tell your significant other, whether it's good or bad.
You've probably heard this one before, but it's true. Communication is key.
It is one of the most significant aspects of a lasting relationship. And if you think about it, the reasoning makes sense. If you're in a partnership with somebody, you want to be able to talk to them about everything and have meaningful discussions. You should feel as if you can tell them anything, and you want them to let you in on all components of their life as well. If you are unable to exchange thoughts and feelings with your partner, what is the point of having them there? You can do the same thing alone. So keep this in mind if you're looking for a long-lasting relationship. It might be difficult to communicate at first, but it's an essential part of keeping your bond strong. Number 13. Do things together. Have you ever been with someone who is never open to doing things you're interested in? You invite them out all the time and they keep turning you down? This is a sure sign your relationship is not going to last. Couples who compromise and do things with and for one another are much more likely to make things work in the long run. This includes daily activities like grocery shopping, eating dinner, or watching television, but also encompasses special occasions like going to concerts, attending parties, or seeing a movie. Of course, it's wonderful if you both are mutually interested in whatever you're doing, but it's important to do things your partner is excited about, even if you aren't very fond of them. For instance, let's say you don't like the Avengers, but go with your significant other to see the new movie anyway because they want to, and you like being with them. This is a sign that your relationship will last. This goes both ways. They should be willing to do things you like, even if they don't necessarily find the activity appealing. Number 12. Forgive and forget. Have you ever been with someone for a long time where things generally run smoothly, but as soon as the two of you have a little tiff, they bring up something that happened the year before and use it as ammunition? Most people have experienced this, and honestly, it makes staying together difficult.
Everybody makes mistakes at some point, and nobody is perfect, even if they think they are.
So a sign that your relationship will last is if your partner forgives your missteps and vice versa, because you're both bound to make them. However, forgiveness only means to excuse the deed. Another necessary step is to forget. Pardoning the mistake initially and bringing it up later to prove a point doesn't do either party any good. It causes more tension and shows that you aren't willing to accept that the other person isn't perfect. Of course, this doesn't literally mean forget, as that would prove impossible, but it does mean that you've decided to forgive your partner. You should follow through with that decision. Number 11. Show gratitude. The feeling of being underappreciated can cause a rift in the relationship, whether one or both people are experiencing it. For example, have you ever worked really hard planning a romantic dinner or put a lot of thought into something special for your partner, and they don't say thank you or somehow show you that they're grateful? It's disheartening when you receive no gratitude for the effort you make. This doesn't mean you need to give the other person a ribbon every time one does something nice, but a simple acknowledgement works wonders in making a union last. Verbally expressing your appreciation is a great option, but there are other ways to show that you care. Giving your significant other a hug, a smile, or a kiss are excellent alternatives in showing that you are thankful for the things they do. Number 10. Effort on both sides. Appreciating effort is one thing, but first, both sides need to make some. Many of us have been in a relationship where we seem to be the only person trying to make things work. Maybe it's just you suggesting to do things with your partner, or it seems you've been solely trying to keep things together, but they keep falling apart. You're feeling out of your element, throwing things, crying, and trying to figure out where you went wrong. This is all evidence of a partnership that won't last. However, if both people are working equally as hard because they care about one another, it is a sure sign that you could be together for a long time. This doesn't always come easily, as people often get caught up in their own wants and needs, but if you truly care for one another and express it, you might be in it for the long haul. Number 9. Admitting error. Perhaps this is the most difficult aspect of a lasting relationship. Nevertheless, it is a requirement to ensure your companionship is long-term. Nobody likes to admit that they're wrong about something, but it is essential in building a strong bond and shows one's vulnerability. It presents the opposite if you can't acknowledge your errors. It gives the impression that you care about being right more than your partner's feelings or the truth. Being this prideful is a bad look for anyone trying to pursue a serious relationship. This doesn't mean to give in even when the other person is wrong, but to take ownership of your mistakes when you make them. Number 8. Can be yourself.
Have you ever been with someone who makes you feel perfectly comfortable around them?
If so, you found a partner you might have for a lifetime. It's too common nowadays to be judged for your differences, so finding somebody who accepts you for who you are and encourages the characteristics that make you unique is an extraordinary experience. It's disconcerting to feel like you have to change yourself to be around a person without being taunted, and quite frankly, a relationship built on this is also built on lies. Doing this creates a false foundation, so everything that comes after is shaky at best. So make sure you can be yourself around your significant other and allow them to be who they are around you. This will create a sturdy, long-standing union. Number 7. Help each other. This encompasses a broad spectrum of things within a relationship. Helping one another with simple tasks, like washing the dishes, doing laundry, cooking, and cleaning is important, so that it isn't just one person taking on all the chores. This also applies to more significant things like supporting your partner in their career or assisting with difficult choices. It's imperative to a lasting partnership that both people not only put in the effort, but help each other with personal situations as well. If you see your partner half struggling with something and you feel that you can offer support, then do so. Make it apparent that you care about their hardships and will do anything within your power to give them a hand. Being there for one another is sure to keep your relationship on track. Number 6. Good and bad. As with every companionship, there are bound to be good times and bad times. And to make things last, it's crucial to stick with each other through both. It's great when everything is rainbows and butterflies, and the two of you don't have a care in the world. However, it's impossible to be carefree all the time. Adverse events are going to get you or your partner down, and if you can get through these hardships together, then you've got a great bond worth fighting for. We've all been in situations where something inconvenient or difficult presents an obstacle for the relationship, and unfortunately, it tears the two of you apart. But sometimes this obstacle does the opposite. It draws you and your significant other closer together because you are able to join forces and power through. If this happens, it's a significant indication that you have something that will last. Number 5. Cheer each other on. Just like you cheer on your favorite team during Super Bowl, you should cheer on your partner every day. This doesn't mean you should break out the pom-poms every time they unload the dishwasher, but it's important to support them in their endeavors and vice versa. Let's say you're up for a promotion at work and filled with self-doubt, and your partner doesn't try and lift you up or give you hope. This would make you feel as if you're alone. But if they're reassuring your capabilities and confidence, it will provide you with a boost in the right direction and could even improve your chances of getting the promotion. This can apply to numerous situations and is essential for long-term relationships. Number 4. Have fun. Although there are a lot of pressing matters that accompany any long-standing union, it's necessary that you keep things lighthearted sometimes. This means laughing together, joking around, and just enjoying each other's company.
We can only keep ourselves focused for so long before we need some comic relief.
Plus, sense of humor is one of the main traits that draws us to our partners in the first place. So if it fades away, the attraction could fade with it. Number 3. Keep the love alive. This is important, especially when you've been with someone for a long time. Things can slow down and even become boring. It's crucial that both of you make an effort to keep the intimacy alive, which includes more than the physical, although that can be a big deal too. Many of us have been in situations where you become almost too comfortable with someone, to the point where you're more friends than romantic partners. When this happens, it's upsetting and can end in heartbreak. So if both parties make it a point to lovingly touch each other, exchange compliments, and make sure they get alone time on a regular basis, it will help tremendously with keeping the love alive, which will result in a stronger, longer relationship. Number 2. Happy for each other. Unfortunately, there are a lot of people out there who find comfort in the downfall of others. It makes them feel better about their shortcomings. But having this characteristic will cause a relationship to crumble. Nobody wants to be with someone who is jealous when they succeed. They want a partner who will find joy in their accomplishments. It is fundamental to a lasting bond that both parties are happy for each other when the situation calls for it. It's upsetting if you're with someone who doesn't share your excitement. Number 1. trust each other. This is arguably the most significant sign that a relationship will last. You have to be able to trust the person you're with.
This applies to being unfaithful, but also encompasses everyday things.
Do you have enough confidence in them to ask them for help? Do you believe in them enough to confide in them? These are essential questions to ask yourself about your partner. They should be the person you can rely on the most, and you should never doubt that they have your best interest. Building trust will lead you to a lifetime of happiness with your significant other.
Hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.